Good afternoon, Francesca Canzano-Franklin here, Global Wellness Day Ambassador of Hong Kong. And this afternoon, I have the immense pleasure of talking to Melinda Yon, Beyond Consulting Services CEO, Spa and Wellness Consultant, Luxury Hospitality, and Melinda, tell us more. There is so much I could be saying. How are you, first of all?
Very well, thank you. And thanks very much for such a lovely, warm welcome. I really appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure. I mean, we could be talking for days. You've done so much for our industry. Wellness is everywhere, but coming from the real people, the people that have been building it up over the years. With Global Wellness Day, this is a series called the In Wellness Conversation. And I just tend to ask a few questions to wellness professionals. One of them being, what does wellness mean to you? And what we want to hear is what it means to you.
Okay, certainly. Well, thank you. That's such a great question because actually, wellness has had such an impact on my life, and it does mean many things to me. On a personal level, I had always been very curious about wellness, reading books and attending courses as a teenager, like massages and aromatherapy. And then I had a health setback, and I
Mm,
entered the world of natural solutions, let's
yes,
say alternative solutions, naturopathy and diet and spirituality. And I think that really kind of cemented my own interest in wellness.
agree.
From a business perspective, later on, I had a chance to experience
Mm,
wellness on a different level when I moved to Hong Kong, which is getting close to 25 years ago. And I had this fabulous experience learning new Asian practices and being exposed to traditional Chinese medicine. But it was a real contrast to what I was used to coming from Australia, which I would say perhaps I had a little bit more of a more holistic approach to wellness. And it really started to make me think about developing something where I could educate and create a wellness approach to wellness that was really integrated.
yes.
And so I had a venture capitalist actually, and I founded a membership model based around spa and wellness called Spa Club Asia. And that was really very much first of its kind. It was independent, so it
Yes.
wasn't actually associated with any one spa or wellness
Yes.
center. It
Yes.
was an opportunity to expose people to different types of services in the wellness industry,
Yes.
to become a member, and through that there were lots of educational events and programs. And from a business perspective, it gave businesses the opportunity to create more awareness about their business, to
Cool.
yield manage, maybe even a bit of an acquisition tool for looking at how to bring in members on an ongoing basis. So that was really an exciting time for me. I mean, hard to believe that was over 20 years ago. I
Wow.
know there's lots of different types of membership since then. And of course, now we have smartphones and internet and AI. So things have really progressed. But that was a very
Yeah.
exciting time. And I suppose through that, I just decided to, stay in the industry. I have been deeply engaged in many different ways, having the opportunity to work across uh, different hospitality sectors and work with some incredible hospitality
Mm,
brands,
yeah.
and also in consulting and advisory type services where I've been working on some really inspiring projects. And I suppose if I think about Spa Club Asia, and that was about education and awareness,
Mm,
I've also had the opportunity to be part of creating and developing and teaching programs around spa and wellness operations and management, and kind of really train up that next level of professional for
absolutely.
our industry.
And I
So,
think
yeah, so that's kind of been the personal impact.
that's amazing. And I think just the educational part, I think, is so much needed nowadays. Everyone's talking about wellness, food, wellness, nutrition, wellness, estate agents, and so on. But it's that awareness. So thank you for, sharing your knowledge in different ways. And with regards to wellness around you, what are your views? how do you combine your personal feelings of wellness, your experiences, and what's around you nowadays?
Yes, no, look, thank you. I mean, for me, wellness is a holistic model of well-being, and I really work on this model of the key dimensions of wellness, which are movement and sleep, nutrition, community, stress regulation, and emotional and mental well-being. I use that in my business practice as well as my personal practice. And so I really have always been really proactive about my health and well-being. And again, it was, it started as a teenager. I mean, now we look at it as, a spectrum. And if you're reactive is when you're not looking after yourself and you have to go to the doctor or the hospital or you have a serious illness. For me, the being proactive and preventative is a big part of my life and well-being. And so that's where I really see that because it makes me feel good to be healthy and I want to be healthy. I want to be in my optimal state of well-being. But I also have to add that it takes work
Yeah,
and it is an ongoing practice and maybe not necessarily a perfect one. And I don't think there's any such thing as the perfect balance. It's just the balance that works right for me or any individual.
exactly. Nowadays, it's not about reaching perfection. It's about finding that balance, the equilibrium. So I think you're doing an amazing job. We need to learn from you. That's why it's so important that we talk to professionals just like yourself.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Although I think also I was just going to add just on something that you've just shared is, when we talk about, what makes us happy and joy,
Yeah,
which is really a lovely, lovely theme for
your
this year's
wellness.
event. And I think we can really learn from everyone. I don't think there's no one right way of well-being. It's very personalized, it's very individual.
Very much so. In fact, the theme, like you were just mentioning, of Global Wellness Day 2026 is joy magenta. It is a little bit of a tricky question to ask sometimes. What brings you joy? Sometimes I twist the question by asking people, what would you remove from your life in order to bring joy? But like you just said, joy is even in the little steps, around us and evolving in the wellness industry. What brings you joy though, aside from just nutrition and fitness and so on?
Yes, look, I mean, many things bring me joy. And in fact, joy span was a term that I heard
Yeah,
used or coined, I think, well, not that I coined, but I heard
yeah,
and read about last year for the first time. And I think it's such a fabulous theme because we're so preoccupied these days, some more than others. We can get
yeah, yeah,
obsessed with what our readings are from the wearable. Are we trying the latest biohacking
yeah,
trend? Have we
yeah.
heard about this event or that event? It can be a little bit exhausting. It can also be
It's
overwhelming. And if
overwhelmed.
people are so obsessed with the longevity or the health span, you forget to just be in the moment and enjoy. So, and if I think about that, and for me, what brings joy, just the last few months, I've really rediscovered breath work. It's something that I haven't done
Yeah.
in such a long time, but it's great because it helps me with,
Mm,
stress regulation.
yeah,
It's good because of this gut-brain
yeah.
access and the link associated with that.
Absolutely.
It gives me an opportunity to just stop and think and be in the moment and slow down, even change my posture in some ways, reminding me to breathe again because when moments of stress, it's easy to hold that in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's something that's bringing me a lot of joy personally. And I think, actually, breath work can be quite underestimated, or at least maybe perhaps I just haven't given it enough credit.
I completely agree with you. Breath work is becoming quite popular, for example, in the yoga communities, your yoga class or Pilates and so on. But I agree with you. It's not the easiest thing to do, even though we breathe daily. So it's actually quite beautiful. Maybe we should continue these conversations in the future and combine more breath work into our industry as well. Imagine sitting at a table, business meetings, and everyone is suddenly just releasing their stress levels. Absolutely
I
beautiful.
think yes. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. It's how do we incorporate these wellness touch points into, not just our personal lives, not just when we visit a spa or a wellness center, and extend that to workplace wellness and these kind of meetings. So yeah, you're right. It's quite an easy thing to do. And the pranayama breathing is really
Yeah.
can be really quite powerful.
It is.
Also, the IMD breathwork breathing is really quite sensational. It's very, very deep. So yeah, look, I mean, so that's my personal connection. And then I think what else brings me joy? Honestly, I'm torn between two, and one is going to be physical, the movement side of things, because I know how important exercise is. I mean, not only is this part of my job where I need to
Yeah.
talk about it and
Yeah.
share it and preach it and develop, concepts and programs around it. At the same time, from a personal level, I realize how important
Mm,
it is to have just basic foundations of
so much.
strength just to ensure I have the resilience and sustainability to be able to continue being joyful and doing the activities I like and I want to do. In addition to that, when I attend a group class,
Yeah.
the release of those endorphins and the dopamine, the serotonin, it's a real rush. It's quite
Really.
buzzy, and that in itself can make it addictive, makes me feel good that I've achieved that. And then it's nice to be, in a group setting and have those shared experiences where you might be doing a yoga class or a high rocks class with, a group of people.
Yes.
So, so that's one. And then the other really is going to be the human connection and community and people. I really feed off other people's energy. I love being in spaces around people, social gatherings,
Yeah.
with the students, supporting the learning, sharing, hearing people's what's going on in their lives and just being able to have those again, I suppose, shared experiences. And I think maybe this year families become increasingly more important and
Very much so.
so making more of an effort to reach out and communicate with people, it really keeps me grounded. It also just being around other people energizes me because, just like here, we feed off each other.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, isn't it? And you do such an amazing job. I personally met you last year at Destination Relax on the Wellness Day and the awards, and I can vouch for that. Your energy was just divine, the way that you were talking, explaining, and gathering. And I'm very similar to you. It's just beautiful connecting with people.
Yeah, it makes such a difference, doesn't it? Which is why this community element is such an important pillar for wellness.
Very
Thank
much
you.
so. Thank you. Now, the final question. If someone would like to start joining the wellness journey, let's call it this way, what would your
Yes.
advice be? How to start? It's rather overwhelming, like we said before. There is so much information that I find that sometimes people feel like, how do I start?
Yes, I think that you're right. It can be a little bit overwhelming. And now we have even more choices. We have even more access to information. We have our wearables. We just
Exactly.
have so much available.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit daunting, where to start. I think a key consideration is understanding perhaps a little bit about what your own goals or priorities might be. Sometimes people don't know where to start, and this is where I really love the dimensions of wellness, this holistic approach to well-being. Is it somewhere movement? You know that you need to do more activity, your steps, your HIIT program, strength functional training, for example, or is it sleep, catching more Zeds through the night, eating better, the community. We need to find things to regulate our stress. So I think once you've identified, or if you look at those, that dimension of wellness, to really think about where is an area you'd like to grow or develop, that's probably one way to make things simple. And second, I think it's so important, just like anything, to have goals.
Yeah.
Write down, find out your why. Write down why is it important to you, because that is going to help you
Love
stick
that.
to that goal. It's like creating a habit.
I love
And Yeah, and then with that, share it with people, track it, write it down, be committed, be kind to yourself, stay curious with your journey, try new things. I think it's important to experiment, and we have so many more choices, as we were speaking about earlier, to do that. But yeah, just I think that's probably a good place to start more
Very much
than
so.
others.
Very much so. I love the idea of having a goal because you can see, for example, on the 1st of January, everyone, I'm going for a run, I'm going for a hike, and then slowly everything dies out. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So if you have it, it's listening right now, a good way of starting your wellness practice, following through Melinda's advice. If you wish, you can join us on Saturday, 14th of June for the global celebration. So Global Wellness Day. It's our 15 years anniversary. These celebrations are free. You can join in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in Malaysia, in Cambodia, anywhere around the world. You can contact one of the ambassadors, go on the official website, or just, I hope you enjoy our beautiful wellness chat and you take inspiration from professionals such as Melinda. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, Melinda. Thank you so much. We should definitely carry on these conversations in the future as well. Love the idea of breath work.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Francesca. I
My
really appreciate
pleasure.
the opportunity today. Please stay on the line. I'd love to continue the conversation. I've got some questions for you too.
Oh gosh, for sure. We will. You have
Thank
a
you.
beautiful rest of your day and we'll chat soon. Bye, Melinda. Take care. Bye bye.